Guys, we need to talk. We have to. We got to talk about Carlos Corberan because he is doing stellar work at West Bromwich Albion this season. And in this video, we're going to tell you what the secrets are behind the success at the club this season. Now, since being appointed in October, West Brom have upheld a 69% win percentage under Corberan. This form has resulted in them shooting up the league and putting themselves in a really strong contention for a playoff spot. Now, the tactics behind this are fascinating, and in this video we're going to give yourselves a deep dive into what makes West Brom so successful under Corberan. Guys, if you enjoyed this video by the end of it and you feel like you got something from it and you want to see more, of course let us know which deep dives we need to do in the comments down below. But of course, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well, and that way you won't miss a single upload. So let's talk about the setup. West Brom usually set up in a 4-2-3-1, which features a double pivot with Yokuslu being the 6, whilst Malumbi has a more advanced role as an 8. This allows the front 4 to stay relatively high, which allows them to move up the pitch aggressively if they choose to. This formation, it's fared them really well in being solid without the ball, whilst also being expansive enough to play the attacking style that Corberan demands. It also works brilliantly in chance creation, and here's how. So the build-up play is one of the few drastic changes that have come into play since Corberan took over, and in this clip we see exactly what the plan is. The splitting of the centre-backs and a calm approach when in possession is one of the foundations of Corberan and West Brom's tactics at the moment. We also see in this clip that the two holding midfielders, Malumbi and Yokuslu, who we were talking about a little bit earlier, they move laterally to receive forward passes. And in this, it allows West Brom to play incisive passes and bypass the press. In this next clip, you can see that West Brom aren't a single-minded team. You know, when it comes to build-up play, they can mix it up and they're not sort of dependent on their style, they're dependent on their opposition. For example, against Burnley, Alex Palmer almost exclusively went for the long ball in an attempt to bypass their press. In that match alone, he attempted 29 long balls. In this next clip, you can see what I like about West Brom's build-up play in terms of how patient and diligent it can be, but can also, within the blink of an eye, move them up the pitch rapidly. This clip, it goes from patient passing around the back to quick and incisive movement. The slow build-up at the back, it causes gaps in the opposition midfield when they mount a press. This in turn creates space for West Brom to move the ball vertically. And although they don't score from this specific clip, it's still a brilliant insight into how they can increase the tempo at will. Have a look at this one. West Brom are multi-dimensional under Corberan, and this clip demonstrates it to a T. They're confident in however way that they attack, and they are able to produce well-crafted opportunities in many different ways. This clip, it shows how they aren't pigeonholed into being a team that can only pass the ball into the net. And with the profiles of different talent available, they can easily work the ball into the box from wide areas and create meaningful chances, as we see here. Next up, you can see the fast interplay that they are capable of, and it puts teams under immediate pressure and it allows them to create chances quickly before teams have had a chance to set against them defensively. This means that they can structure their attacks however they want and, again, deal with a low block or a high line equally well. It's really, really versatile stuff from Corberan and West Brom. Let's talk about the most important player, I think. Yeah, I think we would go with that. I would. Dara O'Shea has hugely impressed me this season with the quality and composure that he displays in all aspects of his game. There's a sort of there's a John Stones vibe about him this season, and he may be one of the best players, I think, in his position, certainly in the division. His passing range, you can see here, and the ability to carry the ball out from the back, it's unrivaled in the league, I think, at this moment in time. And we see here just how effective it can be. I'm also a huge fan of this. The ability to read the game, but also the aggression that he displays here is brilliant. And again, look, he doesn't have the ball here, but the awareness he shows is very, very commendable. He's always scanning and he's always aware of where that striker is. Let's talk about the off-the-ball setup, because this is an insight into how they deal with the opposition build-up play. The key word here is aggression. They press intensely, and even though they give a foul away here, they do not allow the opposition to create a chance. And it highlights the aggression in which they do absolutely everything at the moment. This next clip shows an example of how they deal with opposition turnovers. You know, it's easy to back off and get into shape. West Brom don't do that. They always look to win it back. They did it against Burnley, who are one of the best technical sides in the division, possibly one of the best technical sides we've ever seen in the Championship. And it's great to see them do this with such confidence. The utilisation of press triggers are also crucial in how they defend opposition possession. They go for a man-to-man pressing method, which was something Corberan did whilst he was in charge of Leeds under-23 side. And we see here how it pushes back the Burnley move and it ends up in Burnley conceding possession. The players have adapted brilliantly to this style, and it looks to be one of the methods used by Corberan both offensively and defensively. So, in summary, West Brom are in unbelievable form at the minute, and with the methods that Carlos Corberan has implemented, it can only continue, in my opinion. The structure and methodologies he uses mean that it's a long-term project, which will only get better the longer that he stays with the club. With Corberan having signed a new deal at the club, it can only be exciting times for Baggies fans.